Hey, silver gold. And somebody in the comment section of the YouTube channel was asking about silver, and I thought I decided to throw in gold as well. What is it going to be for the next week or so moving forward, especially with all the wonderful things happening around the world? And that's putting it nicely. Um, So let's first have a look at silver for the next week. I guess they're hinting at something that was going to special was going to be happening in the next week. So let's see if we could pick up on that thing that they were thinking might be happening. Haven't heard any big news on anything that's going to be happening in the next week, but you never know. Okay. So silver next week, it looks healthy, but I don't think it's going to be going up in price anytime soon. The financial card is pretty much upside down and all that sort of thing, but it is starting to roll. It's getting to that point where it's starting to lift off a little bit, and that could be the thing that they're picking up. This other person was picking up in the next week is it might be stirring, kind of like that Bitcoin market right now. It's stirring. It's not going blasting off yet, but it is stirring and it's moving and all that sort of thing. And I'm thinking that's what silver is going to be for the next week. It's starting to stir and actually start to get some movement within the market. People behind that particular situation, I think a lot of people are kind of down on the silver market. I believe it's going to be something special in the next little while. It's going to be very useful moving forward, especially with all the wonderful things going on around the world right now. I think it's not necessarily something to look at as being rich, but something that you should have because you're gonna need it. And I'll leave it at that. So in the next week, I don't see anything huge happening with silver, just with some new movement. So if you're in the silver game, I think next week is going to be if you're keeping close eye on it, I think you're going to see a lot of movement, which is a good indicator that at some moment in time, it's going to start to blast off. But I don't think it's going to be next week. When will it blast off? That would be the question. All right. I think it's going to be in the next year or so where we're going to start to see silver really take off, especially with the deal that Russia and China made with one another being exclusive. Silver is going to be more and more scarce, especially for manufacturing, and that's going to be getting that price up in a good way. Okay, so hopefully that answers that question. Let's get into the gold for the next week. Jumping the gun. The wife is here. She's in the background doing all the work behind the scenes. Not to worry. So gold in the next for the next week, same sort of deal. Price is going to be starting to go up, but the health isn't too healthy for that particular market. There is some use cases for gold in the next little while, and that is going to be right along silver and platinum, all those other metals, which are going to be coming in handy, not a way of getting rich perchance, but just as a utility moving forward, because everything is going to be a little topsy-turvy around the planet for the next year or so. So it's going to be good to have on hand. Price, I think, is going to start to jump a little bit in next week, but not as like spectacular or anything. It's going to start to creep back up in a good way because everything going on around the world right now. And I think a lot of the people behind the scenes are trying to hold it down, but they won't be able to hold it down much longer. Okay. Anything to say?
No.
Nope. Okay, let's get into that next one.